Hey guys, I noticed something.
Yeah.
I guess for this game, it only took 2 parts to floor Deji.
I'm leaving.
Alright. So yeah.
Who says mom and dad can't hang 10 on the rails?
Exactly. Very good, Jova. Yeah, basically we're going to do some... And yeah, the grinding pretty much works like the grinding in a Ratchet and Clank game. Just press left analog stick and jump button to change rails. It's very simple, except in this case it's R1.
Oh, it's like a Sonic game. Neat.
Well, okay, I can see compared to this and Ratchet and Clank, compared to Sonic, in both, it seems that in this and at least in Ratchet and Clank, you don't accidentally clip through one of the pipes.
Look, Canyon is just one level, okay? It's
I was talking also about SA2 Edge.
I guess yeah, you can include...
Final Chase is my... Okay,
Well,
aside from Mad Space, Final Chase is my least favorite.
Sure.
Yeah, the arc, the last levels.
Yeah, to give it to Jova. Yeah, you know, like if it's Sonic Unleashed, if it's post Sonic Unleashed and onwards rail switching, yes. Usually when I think rail switching in Sonic, I usually think Sonic Adventure 2, which has that very unprecise thing, you know.
Yeah, I'm gonna sound. This is gonna be a controversial take, but I really like the rail levels in Lost World.
Yeah, those are fine.
I like them too.
Those are some of the
I like
better
the
ones.
music as
Yeah.
well.
Although I prefer the Mach Speed Zone, I will argue that's the best zone in the game. Anyway, for this part, you need to activate 2 switches. So basically, right now we're trying to figure it out. Give us a moment. So yeah, we have this switch. However, as you can see, yeah, they have to be pressed simultaneously. So we're gonna have
one is to go through one direction and the other in another.
All right.
So you have to time it exactly right just to pass.
Yeah,
by
was
the
about to
switch.
No. The game gives you the game gives you a bit of lenience. You don't have to do it like exactly. Don't worry.
Oh, okay. Thank goodness, because that would have been just a little insane.
Suddenly. Sorry.
No, go ahead, Edge.
Suddenly we're in the inside
There
the
you go,
fence
see?
of the mall in the Kingdom Hearts 3 level of Toy Story.
So there you go, to job. As you can see, it's lenient enough.
Oh,
Yeah,
God.
I've seen already a couple of puzzles like this. Usually when you have to activate a couple of
Ow.
switches in quick succession, there is a bit of delay when you activate one, so it gives you just that kind of time to activate another if you cannot do it like 100% precise.
Great job, Pedro.
But yeah, honestly, these rails do look quite a bit of fun. Honestly, makes me wonder. I wonder, is it fun because of how they don't do a
Timing.
good job keeping their house well put? Because a lot of these things look a little more bent than they should be.
Yeah.
I mean, don't get me
This
wrong.
house is a screaming metal death trap.
Yeah, I was about to mention. I guess this is what is reminding me a bit. The kind of atmosphere, having these owls as this giant playground, and I'm guessing it would be also explored a bit also better later, considering the trailers did showcase stuff like a garden level or a beehive level. It does remind me also of how the kids viewed the playground and their house, like this gigantic thing in Honey, I Shrunk the Kids.
How funny would it
the kind
be?
of scope and magnificence that the movie had.
How funny would it be if the revelation is that the parents just did way too many drugs and they
Binoculars.
hallucinated
Oh.
their daughter turning them into dolls, and meanwhile, all that's really happening is ends up running around the house like madmen, and this helps their relationship.
Let me check who voice is Binocular.
So there you go. Their actual real bodies are sleeping while this is going on.
Not dead. What's going on? Oh no.
At least you're on a sofa, so you're fine.
I know.
Basically, Cody's sitting down on a desk.
Dolls, and then you two came alive.
Just like that? You didn't see
And because you're dolls, you can now talk to me.
Why? What happened? She was crying. Oh, I know, quite unusual for Rose, but I am 100%.
Pedro, help me out a bit. I think the binocular is called Stargazer.
I think so. Yes.
She's
Nah.
voiced by Susan Brown, and I think I recognize this actress.
I know what happened. It's a spell.
Ridiculous, Cody. We've got to apply logic.
Don't be.
Hold on.
Binoculars.
Yeah,
There is
Yeah.
no logic in that.
There you go.
Honestly, how about the fact that we are dolls? Dolls.
Exactly.
Exactly, May.
Kind of makes
Yeah.
yourself feel silly when you look at yourself, doesn't it?
It was a spell, I am telling you.
You just fought a giant sentient vacuum cleaner.
And a toolbox.
And yeah, and a toolbox.
Okay, I got this.
What's not clicking?
All about the spell.
Yeah. Time to be a bit more.
Right.
Time to be a bit more open-minded, May.
Why not use the computer to figure out an answer? Works on Courage the Cowardly Dog.
I don't think it means that kind of.
Oh no,
song.
Cody. Oh no, Cody has a plan.
hide your kids.
In order to break it, we have to
Work together.
her tears. Boom.
No.
So we'll make her cry even
What the
more.
hell?
Brilliant.
You've
No.
been
What was
watching
that?
too many Disney movies and
Eh?
misinterpreting everything.
Yes.
This
That's
is a
amazing.
really bad plan.
Yes. Make her cry even more. Torture her.
And
if
she
you
runs
have
with
to.
it. Oh my god.
Yeah, I can.
Yeah, these
I
guys
can-
are not that good parents.
I can see now why, at least according to TV tropes, quite a few people that played this game had the 8 deadly words when it came to these two.
I will say this: the game really
what
does
are
need-
those 8 deadly words?
I don't care what happens
Yeah, what
with
happens
these
to these
people.
characters. I will say this: the game does need to work on starting their transition to being more likable. Don't get me wrong; it's there, but yeah, your plan being to make your daughter cry on you again. I get thinking logic
Cody's
and all,
dead.
but that just seems
Yeah.
a little too dickish.
Oh no.
Oh, you again.
What's the rope? It's too far. Good. Where there is love, not distance is too far.
I don't give a
God.
shit about that right now.
This feels like a game of Saw. You will learn to love each other, and
Or
you will
you'll
be trapped in the
Yeah, it's like a light-hearted version of
And
Saw.
now, what do you get? A pair of Spider-Man style ropes, I guess.
Basically, with these, we can use
Grappling hook.
yeah, grappling hook.
All
So
right.
yeah, we're literally Spider-Man.
Susan Brown is a very historical voice actress and voice actress. She's been playing stuff since the end of the 50s. She's mostly notorious for, say, like The Iron Lady or Game of Thrones. She was also in Torchwood. There's that. Also in some video games like Little Big Planet. So that's pretty neat.
Yeah, okay, yeah, I think
I do see what you mean, Dwebs. Like again, maybe the game will make these guys more likable, but
It's for
damn though.
it's reserved.
so it's-
Yeah, they're going to start doing that later down the line. Yeah.
yeah, but I was gonna say though, this game's taking its sweet ass time to do that.
Well,
It really does depend on the players' patience.
Also, Pedro was comparing these to also Tales of the Abyss. It's kind of a good parallel because it's kind of the same thing there. Sure, the protagonist goes through a change in his attitude and everything, but it still does take time even there.
Yep. It's these rare cases of a writer that clearly wants the character development to be done in a more realistic fashion, as in really slow and very because usually for the sake of making things more streamlined in stories, writers tend to speed up the process. But I can tell that Joseph is trying to go for a more realistic pacing with the arc, and just have the thing be done very they have to first go through through some kind of shock before they really start realizing that there's something wrong.
I suppose some may argue that it's
It
weird that
depends
they
on-
haven't gotten the.
Go ahead.
I suppose one could argue that even with realism, it's weird that these guys haven't gotten the hint that this is supposed to be lessons about helping their daughter, not hurting her. So again, having their plan be to, make her cry. Again, I get the logic, but it seems just a little too.
I mean, guess you get a trophy for that.
My guess is the idea is that again they're so caught up in what they want, never for one moment do they stop to think about what Rose needs. Basically.
Also surprised that you didn't get a trophy for throwing the paper.
Okay,
What it was one of those side activities, kind of like in
now,
A Way Out.
Now, I mean, if I were these parents and I had the wonderful idea to make my own daughter cry so that I get out of this shitty situation that I'm in, I mean, I would still feel sick at myself, but if I had to do it, I'd basically just write a letter saying, "We never loved you, we're leaving you behind, goodbye, signed mum and dad, PS, fuck you."
Well, okay, I still want to see where this goes, but with this kind of attitude, forget the divorce. This child needs to stay away from these parents as much as possible.
Yeah.
Like the husband doesn't need to be removed for the wife or vice versa. The child needs to be removed from them.
Someone call Child Protective Services. It's time to stop.
Maybe it's not a divorce that's needed, but emancipation.
Oh, hello. In a hole in the tree lived the hobbit.
Well, hey, Shiri, we Shiri, I've been watching Red Dwarfing. Ask Grandma how emancipation turned out for him. I mean, to be fair, his dad was a giant douche.
I guess.
So let's see who lives here.
The owl?
Hello.
We're trying to get to the house.
What's your business there?
We haven't got time for this. Is this a shortcut or not?
Yeah, back to the words.
Yeah, like he was just gonna let you in after that rude remark.
There's your shortcut. Shortcut to the end of your lives.
So I wonder if you okay, well, I guess these doors are not actually breathing, though.
And meanwhile, Rose is.
Dad, I have to tell you something. It's important.
Oh.
Have you heard of this book by Dr. Hakim? He says that it's important to forgive each other.
Well, it's not always that simple.
Then you can become friends again.
Well, then Dr. Hakim was a moron.
If you want, you can borrow the book.
Talk
At
to
the end
your
of the book,
child.
At the end of the book, they're gonna destroy it, huh? They're like, well.
Yeah, I really hope that there's one payoff is that the book actually burns.
Yeah, we burned.
Yeah, and they'll have a party all around it and everything.
And then basically when the daughter said, they'll go like, "Look, honey, we're getting back together. We love you very much. That book needs to go.
Yeah.
That book needs to be
Did she
torn up.
call him?
We'll
Wait,
buy
did she
you a
call him?
Let's say here. Let's say here.
Interrogation.
A militaristic squirrel society. What the fuck am I looking at? Joseph, you watch a bit too much Don't Bluff, Maddie.
Aw, bird skull.
Oh no.
Oh god, that's terrible.
Jesus.
Oh my
You'll die
god,
again and again
that's
until you
basically
tell us the
body
truth.
horror and torture. Forced to die to watch multiple times.
Okay, have we proved whose side they're on now?
Why don't they die?
Why does that fat one look like Carl Weezer from Jimmy Neutron?
I'm gonna check in a second. Also, their
thank God.
voice
I
actors.
thought, thank God. I thought he was going to say, that's absurd having superpowers, because I was going to yell at him, "You're talking squirrels."
To be fair, Dwibs, maybe talking squirrels don't have superpowers.
But you're talking squirrels.
Okay, this I think is Squirrel Chief, that is voiced by Graham Fox. What a name.
But he's a squirrel.
Yeah, Graham Fox is actually a squirrel.
That's the irony.
That's just what he wants you to think.
Well, he was also in Game of Thrones. Also, some video games like Assassin's Creed Valhalla.
Huh.
I don't want to go. And that's what the 10th Doctor said.
Oh my god, it really is just like Secret of Nim. They stole technology from the humans. They were just entering a different video game.
Shiro. Turns out there's an not to mention, remember, Shiro, we're in a magicked up alternate reality right now. So
yeah, this really does feel a bit like Secret of Nim.
Yeah.
Is this all like, a connection of the world, or is this all just stuff generated from that magic book? Like,
yes.
Was this stuff going on already? Wow.
No, it's all magic. Because later on,
I get the idea it might be a thing of we actually did lost those objects, but these events are making, them imagining like this.
Without spoiling anything, by the end of the game, it's confirmed that none of this was real.
Oh yeah, I got it. Someone mentioned Secret.
Okay, wow, spoilers.
All right, guys, I got it. Someone mentioned Secret and Nim earlier. This is actually Secret and Nim 3. This is basically what happened after the end of Secret and Nim 2, where basically it turns out that pinning all your hopes on one creature is actually detrimental to everybody in the long run.
Alright, so here are new...
The sap gun, I remember this from the trailer.
So yeah, here are new abilities for this next level.
Right,
so there you go.
Yeah, okay, here's the thing about wasps. They're like bees, but assholes.
They're the robot which AI literally went rogue. Oh my, what's happening?
Jopa, are dragonflies harmless?
Look,
dragonflies, oh yeah, they're fine.
So, yeah.
Bye.
Yeah.
Okay, because I've been seeing a lot of them.
Tail,
not taking a chance.
Tail, let's just do what the squirrels say and not question anything.
Yeah. I'm also on it. Anyway,
okay, here's the thing. Bees are normally fine as long as you don't annoy them. Wasps are assholes that will attack you regardless, so avoid them at all costs. Dragonflies, they're fine.
It also the levels also continue to be a resemblance of their flaws in real life. If Cody had cleaned out the hive, again, much like how if May had actually fixed the vacuum cleaner, like she said. Now, this time it's Cody's fault that this is happening to them. If he had cleaned out the hive and tree, like he said he would, this wouldn't be happening right now.
The one thing that is... Oh my god.
Yes, Shiroi?
Honestly, it probably could fly at this point.
Then you're never getting back to your real bodies.
Oh, wow, right on cue.
Yeah, so the only thing that's arguably worse than wasps are moths.
Oh, I thought you were going to say the worst thing about getting wasps is getting divorced or something.
No, because, wasps sting you and that'll be the end of it. Moths eat your stuff.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah, now we're playing Fortnite.
So, yeah, my honey weapon thing covers things in... honey.
Don't you like my hot and sticky sap?
Oh yeah, sap. That's it. Whereas Vanessa's missiles make that thing, whatever is covered in sap, explode.
So basically, what Pedro's holding is basically Winnie the Pooh's favorite gun.
Anyway, I checked. All right, the fat squirrel is labeled as Squirrel Bookkeeper, and he is voiced by Gordon Cooper. Who was doesn't have much of a career, even though he started acting in 1998. So it's a nice bet, he's getting stuff. But get this, the one that gives you the gadget is literally called Miss Q. That's pretty cute. She's voiced by Rachel Atkins, which was the voice actress for Esma Potts in Puppeteer or Dolores Umbridge in the Harry Potter video games. Well, that's also apparently she's in Bravely Default 2, but it doesn't say the role.
Neat.
Yeah, because from what I understand, Bravely Default 2 has all British VAs compared to the other games.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so this is basically Honey, I Shrunk the Kids with a gun.
I was mentioning before the aesthetic of the environment that you create. It seems to be an
I Shrunk the Kids.
Deji, how do you But Deji, how do you shrink people with a gun?
I said. You find out. Have you not heard of a shrink ray? Haven't you watched Phineas and Ferb? You've learned nothing.
Seriously.
Well, I suppose if you shoot a guy somewhere, a part of him will shrink.
Okay, Dwibs. Size changing guns are like Evil Scientist 101.
Even Super Monkey Ball has like a shrink ray.
Well, I haven't played Super Monkey Ball.
Well, that sounds like a you problem now, doesn't it?
That is a you problem. Those
Very
games are
much a
great
you
if you
problem.
should play them.
Also, we were actually mentioning Honey Shrunk the Kids. The entire, thing about it is because
I haven't seen that movie either.
Well, the shrink ray in that movie kind of works like a gun.
And then
Was Grounded the result of a shrink ray or nah?
I think
don't
it was.
When you said gun, I thought you meant like a pistol or something.
Yes, the size changing guns can come in that variant as well.
Well, I mean, I guess to be fair, if you're shot by a pistol, I guess you're shrinking away.
Forever.
Well, depends on what part of you is shot.
Yeah.
I mean, Dwibs, considering how the dead don't exactly get the blood pumping, you shrink forever.
Also, it's very nice for these critters to actually give you like a targeting range before putting you in the action.
Yeah.
This is amazing. Like, wow.
It's very imaginative. Like, I will give you that. We did see a bit of this in the trailers, but I wasn't expecting a game like this to be this insane.
Clearly you have not been doing enough drugs and amphetamines.
Because he values his body. I he's a heavy drinker. What?
Also, that I will mention this more when the mics are.
The SAP, as you can see,
is turned off.
One particular thing is going to be important for puzzles.
Function.
Yeah, it works as a weight as well. So everything that's sappy is heavier.
That's pretty neat. Yeah, I was about to mention again. I've seen Brothers of Tale 2 Sons, and we have commented it on A Way Out. Sorry, go on.
I'm kind of fearful of our Brothers of Two Sons playthrough because that game's probably going to look naff in comparison to A Way Out in this game.
Not that shouldn't take away the what it means.
Yeah.
It's just had to be viewed in by the time it was made.
No, that's a thing that that game is wonderful because Brothers of Tale 2 Sons was Joseph's first game, and that game, despite also having two characters on a journey, is not a co-op game. It's just you controlling both players.
So it's
the thing is, that's interesting you mentioned that, Pedro, considering the PS2 version of Half-Life also has a mode like that.
There's a PS2 version of Half-Life?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, didn't Half-Life come around the first one at least, around the mid 2000s or something?
Half-Life on PC came out in 1998.
There was also the orange box for the PS3 and Xbox 360.
Yeah.
But I was about to mention again, and we commented it also on A Way Out. So we've seen what Joseph Ferris is capable of doing with creative kind of gameplay. But thanks to the removing the limitation of actual, realism in what a game has to look like and has to play like. This is super imaginative. I genuinely want this to be the next gold standard because I want to see what Joseph can come up with in terms of this kind of creativity. Again, don't get me wrong, A Way Out is still a good game on its own, but it's still relatively basic in telling like a Prison Break kind of story, with his own twist to it, which is still nice, but this is on a complete new level. I'm talking. Okay, of course, the actual characterization it's another thing entirely. I'm talking just about the setting
and the gameplay.
I won't give full judgment yet since the story isn't over, but so far I'm feeling more sympathy towards the convicted prisoners than these two.
And again, you know what? I don't blame you for that. They are definitely not at a point where we would feel sympathetic for them in that regard. And I guess it can depend on how the game's pacing does feel to you. Because again, one could argue that it's a bit weird that they haven't picked up on some of the points at this point. How many chapters are there total, Pedro?
There are a few. Basically, we're right now we're doing the part where they're trying to collaborate and trying to find out on their own. When they eventually fail with this plan, well, I know, big spoiler, this plan fails. Then that's when Dr. Hakim finally convinces them to sit down, talk, and have a therapy. Basically,
yeah,
so basically, our characters are up for a rude waking call. Basically,
I thought you were gonna say Dr. Hakim basically confesses, you know what? There is no reuniting you two. I was just fucking with you. I'm the villain.
it's mostly because Joe. Dr. Hakim genuinely just wants them to sit down and talk to him because he's a therapist. But right now they're not willing to. From their perspective, they don't need therapy at all. So that's the problem. They still have to get their hands out of their asses. That's the problem. But anyway, no, but that's the thing to it. No, Tay was mostly talking about setting and gameplay because gameplay wise, this game trumps all the previous games.
It's still on new level. And keep in mind, remember, one thing that I did notice also in A Way Out was that it took its time to have also its set of mini games, but still managed to function. So even on an actual development perspective, Hazelight as a studio is managing to actually keep these different type of gameplay styles on this kind of consistent level on a complete split screen type of game. Don't forget even that.
Let me put it this way. Dwebs. Like, even if you don't care for the story, the gameplay is so unbelievably fun that it single-handedly carries the game. And you yourself have said various times that you think gameplay is the most important thing. So,
I do agree that this is a case where whatever issues I have with the story, the gameplay does seem enough to verify it.
I mean, I played it with you, Pedro. I know I could attest to that.
No. I'm agreeing with you. I'm saying I know that's how you are. You've said it various times. Yes, Jova.
Mind you, I still hold that all aspects of a game should be good, but this isn't something like, say, Sly Cooper Fusion Time, where the story is, like, exuberantly bad. I have an idea of where it's going. I guess my only issue would just be the pace. Like,
sure.
As long as the story still carries stuff up, it should be fine. I'll just critique it for iffy pacing.
Without spoiling anything, let me basically break things down for you. This first half requires a lot of patience from you, like you yourself said. However, if you're willing to go through it, the second half is where things start improving dramatically, and the game does manage to turn itself around for a really good conclusion that is really nice. So the game gets.
I would argue that the gameplay is enough to actually keep me invested.
Oh no, trust me. Like again, the first half is flawed story-wise. I mean. But if you're willing to sit down and wait for the second half is where things start improving dramatically.
Okay.
Which leads me to my.
Sorry, go on.
Which leads me to my question. I know you said that this is the best gameplay-wise, but what about story-wise?
Story-wise, I still prefer A Way Out because I feel like the story of A Way Out was better told for the reasons that we've already discussed. I feel like the pacing in this one, like I don't mind. Again, like I said before, I have no problem with Joseph having the balls to portray these characters as the horrible people that they are. Like Aaron said various times, you should make your characters.
Shooting the chain.
Don't make your characters likable. Make them complex. The problem is that in the particular arc that they're doing, it can be very hard for a lot of people. I'm personally fine with it, but it can be hard for a lot of people to deal with that particular kind of aesthetic, unless if in something like in the Clockwork Orange type of movie where everything about what Alex is doing is how should I put this? The Clockwork Orange makes his evilness a bit more fun, whereas the fun in this one comes more from the gameplay. Yes, Dwips?
It's like I said before, starting off your main characters as really unlikable is always a massive gamble. I mean, it's just as much a gamble as if you start off a character who's overly happy. It all depends on how you handle it.
Yeah, Yu-Gi-Oh! GX match.
If you handle it well, like House, a lot of the fun can come from the unlikable douchebag. if you handle it badly, like the twin dilemma from Doctor Who, it's going to be a giant slog.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure none of the parents are going to strangle the daughter. At least I hope not.
No,
it's not
no,
outside
no.
the realm of possibility.
You don't have to worry about that. Like I said, it's mostly the first half where the iffier stuff is. If you're willing to stomach food to the first half and get to the second half where things start improving dramatically, you'll get to see a lot better stuff here. In the meantime, the gameplay, at least for me, is more than enough to hold me over until we get to that bit.
Crap,
I can definitely agree with that.
I just realised.
Yes.
The twin dilemma, it takes two. Oh no.
It's not to mention
I don't think it's that bad.
Not to mention veering the attention away from the parents for a bit. Like the rest of the story, the squirrel, like Dr. was saying, the squirrel's idea. This is just great and hilarious. So you have to also give it credit for that. That's a lot of fun. Trust me, even in this first half, there's going to be a lot of fun story comedy moments involving a lot of stuff with the side characters that we meet across the way. So there's still going to be some really fun stuff as well in the first half.
I'm definitely interested to see what's to come next. Still, like, again, despite my issues with the story, it's by no means too bad that I am completely uninvested and gonna write it off now.
I'm definitely invested in this, and honestly, the only thing that's like, going back to the parents a little bit, the only thing that's like, taking the heat off of that a bit is because they're getting so much of what they deserve. So,
well, remember, Shira, that's the whole idea. Remember, in the first level was a karma for May not fixing the vacuum cleaner. Now we're getting karma for Cody not cleaning up the tree and the hive like he said he would. So now they're sowing the seeds that they. Well, you know what I mean, right? Yeah. So
reaping what you sow.
That's it. That's it. Reaping what you sow. So basically,
Heroes of Sadist confirmed.
So the story is constantly doing the karma thing as well. It's just that it's just doing it background-wise via what they're facing. But anyway, tune in for the next part, everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah.